Hello, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee and welcome to this card making tutorial. This is a lovely card we're making today, isn't it cute? I just love this little ladybird here sitting on the toadstool having a good read. It's just so cute. So let me show you how I made this. We're going to start off with our stamping. So I've got a piece of scrap basic white cardstock. This is the first stamp set we're going to use. It's called Sweet Bugs. And I know this can be almost like a Marmite stamp set. You either love it or you hate it. I really like it. It reminds me of that song on a Disney film, The Ugly Bug Ball, and all of these three little ants here coming along, tooting along. It's just so cute. But for today we're going to use our little sets here. So I think we're going to have a look and see what we can put together. This is our little bee, and we could use that. And I think, no, you know what, I'm going to go back to I just love this little ladybird. I just think it's the cutest. So I think I'll go back to my little ladybird, which is here. Right, made that design choice. Let's get a block out so we can do some stamping. And then I'm going to stamp in Memento Tuxedo Black so that we can do some colouring using the Stampin' Blend alcohol markers. So let's give us a nice ink up. And then just put it down somewhere. Hold. Lovely. Right, let's move all of that aside for now. I'm going to do a little bit more stamping while we're at it. And I'm going to bring in here, this is the Terrific Toadstools, and I'm going to stamp some of this as well. So let's get another block. I'm going to use Poppy Parade ink, and I think my Poppy Parade needs a little re-inking. So it's going to be a little bit of a lighter colour than that deep poppy colour, which is actually, I'm very happy with, because I don't want it to be too deep for this, for what I'm after today. So I'm going to put this down, hold it, there we go, lovely. I'm going to clean this off, I need the block. I'll put this back in its home. And while I'm at it, I'm going to clean that bee as well, or ladybird rather, so I can put her back in her home as well. Now I'm going to stamp the stalk for my toadstool, and this is in crumb cake. So just on another block, tap 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 tap. Get it nicely inked up, down, hold, there we go, that's lovely. Right, let's clear the decks and give us some space to actually craft in, because in a moment I seem to have worked myself into the size of a postage stamp. Close this up, and do a little bit of colouring, very quick colouring using the Stampin' Blend alcohol markers, and I'm going to use real red for my ladybird. I know in America they say ladybug, but we say ladybird, and she's definitely a ladybird. Beautiful lady. There we go. So then I'm going to go in with a darker colour. I've put down my lighter colour. I'm going to go in with my darker colour and blend, and add some shadows and blend that out. Not much, but it's a very small area. I don't think that even needs to be blended out, that'll be fine. I'm going to go for the book next. Book is in Daffodil Delight. I wanted that just pop of yellow, just something else. And then I'm going to go with the dark Daffodil Delight, if I can open it. Add some shadows. And then just blend that out with the lighter colour. That'll do for me. Now, I know I didn't really want to use black for the face because I felt it would lose all the features, so I've used some smoky slate instead to give that illusion of darkness without being over dark. So, as you can see, I'm just being very quick and easy, colouring nothing fancy here. And I'm going to go in with a deeper colour, just adding some shade here and there, and then blend some of that out. Like that, and that is all my colouring done. Now I'm going to just separate these pieces. We're going to die cut the one that on these two pieces are going to get punched, and we'll save that for scrap for later. So I'm going to use this one, which is called Terrific Toadstool. I'm going to use this to punch my toadstool. You always punch on the back so you can see what you're doing, but I don't have much. I need a little bit of a handle there, so I'm going to use a piece of post-it note, and I use this to create my handle. So just add this to the side. Now I've got a handle, so now I can easily put that in there and work it into where I want it to be. Something like that. Punch that out. Lovely. And then the same for the stalk. Just gonna feed that in there. Keep that to the top so it doesn't cause a problem with the punch. There we go. There we have our pieces. And then I'm going to cut this up with the matching dies, and I'll see you soon. Okay, we're ready to assemble our card. So I've punched out those pieces, and there's our little ladybug die cut out. Now, this is a piece of the Real Red Designer Series paper from the Family Stacks. And here I've got a piece of Granny Apple Green. And we're going to do a technique called gutting. So I've cut this original piece out using the Textured Notes dies. Sorry for my arm in the camera, but these are they. And I've cut out my big window from the larger one, the smaller one rather, and then a piece here from the next larger one up. And this saves on us needing more Designer Series paper. So let me show you how this works. It's a great way to make your paper go further. So I've got two pieces of basic white here that measure 14.35 centimeters by 10. And we're doing slightly different colorway to the way we did before. Previous card was Granny Apple Green card base, and the main color was Granny Apple Green. This time we're going to do a main color of Real Red with our accent being Granny Apple Green. So just a reverse basically of what we did, of what I did before. So we're going to stick this down just like that. Perfect. And then we're going to stick this down on the front. Now no one is going to see that gaping hole because we're going to cover it. And that's the beauty of gutting the paper. Instead of needing two pieces of paper, we just need the one. And we saved a piece of paper for another project, which is always a good thing, because as crafters, we always like to get the most out of our supplies, don't we? We don't want to waste anything. Right, so let's put another piece of basic white on in the inside for our insert. Now, I am going to take this piece that was from here, and I'm going to lay it on top of my Granny Apple Green cardstock piece. I'm just going to put that there, so it has a nice border around there, and then we're going to stick this straight on the front of our card. Just like that, and then no one is going to see that big hole at all. It's totally covered. And that's how gutting works, isn't it clever? Right, let's put together our little thingamajiggy here. otherwise known as our toadstool. So I'll put a bit of glue on the bottom so I can attach my little toadstool easily. And then I'm going to just add a bit of glue over this. I'm going to just use my Tombow. Much easier with a narrow. I'm going to put this down here now. This doesn't pop in the same way as the green popped, so it's a different effect. And I'm going to just move these aside and look for some. Here I've got some, whatever you call these things, dimensionals. No, they come in two sizes. These are the mini ones or baby ones. I do have the big ones, but I've run out and they're downstairs. So we are going to just use these baby ones for now. They work fine. Exactly the same dimension. So let's take that. And then I'm going to sit this on top. I just love how that looks. So cute. And then I'm going to bring in for our sentiment. This is the Greetings for All ephemera pack. And I'm going to look for a sentiment again that says, and I think I'm going to say, do this one, you did it. I think that's great, especially if someone is just passing exams or something like that. That's a really useful sentiment. I'm going to use some of my foam adhesive strip, just a little bit there. And I don't want to start a new one, so I'm going to stick a small baby dimensional on the end, just using up my bits and bobs, my scraps of adhesive, so I don't waste anything. Get rid of those backings, and then I'm just going to put this there. Oh no, where am I going to put it? I think I'm going to put it there. Yeah, I'm going to put it there. It says, you did it. So there we have that one. And there we have this one. So let's do some little embellishments. These are the gorgeous Ladybird garden epoxy shapes. And they are just so darling and cute. So I think I'm going to put one there. And maybe another one down there. And I'm keeping them on the green this time so that they really pop. And one over there. Oh, that's so cute. I love them. So there are your two little cards. One that says you did it. One that says hello. Featuring the Sweet Bugs stamp and die bundle. So I really hope you like these two cards. Also learned all about gutting cards and how to save your paper. If you want more information about the project, the supply list, the measurements, etc., you'll find all that information on my blog, and the links to that are in the description box below. You'll also find there all my social media links. And if you like the project, I'd be grateful if you could give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.